Good morning. We're going to talk about executive skills. And what are they? We're going to work with them a lot this year. And basically, it's a way of getting yourself organized. And where the phrase executive skills came from is the fact that they are the skills necessary to execute a task or complete it, get stuff done. You might think that all you need to do to get something done is plan it, start it, and finish it. Ideally, we would also take some time to reflect on how the process went. Plan, start, finish, and hopefully come back and reflect. However, it is not so simple, as I'm sure some of you have probably already experienced. When you have to plan something, there's a lot of other skills that come into place. Can you organize your time? Can you prioritize what needs to come first? Can you understand yourself well enough to know what you need to do and how the best way is to complete it? You have to have a working memory and know what is the task, what are my requirements, and how am I supposed to get this done. You have to be flexible and realize that there's more than one way to accomplish a task. And all of these skills come into place when you're planning a project. Starting a task. Again, not so simple. When you start a task, you have to actually be able to get going. And this means not procrastinating and learning how to actually get started once you have a plan in place and not get distracted by looking out the window or imagining what's going to come next. That task initiation is one of the biggest hurdles that people face when they have to start a project. You still have to have that working memory to know, am I meeting all of the requirements? If not, can I go back and find the directions and see everything that I need to do? Do I have the sustained attention to go from start to finish and actually accomplish my goal? Response inhibition. This is a big one, especially at the age of middle school. Your brain is still developing, and there's a lot of things that you're still learning how to do. And when we blurt out, or one of my favorite movies, Up, and our dog Doug, squirrel, we see things that distract us, and we immediately respond to those things, which can distract us from getting started and moving forward in our project. You also have to have emotional control, and when you're happy, things sometimes are easier than when you're sad or frustrated or upset. And so being able to manage those emotions is a skill that we're all still learning. And these are the kinds of things that if we can't get started, we certainly can't finish a project. So why is this even important? Well, for the rest of your life, you're going to be asked to complete tasks independently on your own. You're going to have tasks for school, when you get a job, for your home and your family. For the rest of your life, you're going to need to know how to plan, start, and finish projects. But it's also important for collaboration. In addition to working by yourself, life almost never has you working all by yourself. So you're going to have to work with other people. And one of the best things to do is to understand yourself and what your strengths are, and find the team that's not all superstars. They can't have a team full of LeBron. It's not going to be as successful as a team that can find the best fit for everyone's strengths. This is going to be important when you're working in teams here at school as well, finding the fit for everyone that's their strengths rather than making everyone try to have the same strengths. So as far as the 6th grade team, we work pretty well together, and we've all worked together for quite a long time. We have complementary strengths. Mr. Byer, Ms. Keith, Ms. Patrick, and Ms. Tillema work together because each one of us knows what we're good at. And Mr. Byer can take over the projects and assignments that he's strong in, Mrs. Keith can stay organized and keep the rest of us on task, and Mrs. Tillema can show us her creativity. The other important part is that we support each other through our challenges. And when one of us is distracted or has a hard time getting started in a task, the rest of us can work together and motivate the other person. So, What we're going to do now is we're going to ask you to complete an executive skills survey so that we can find out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. Now, the key to this survey is that you need to be honest with yourself. We don't know the answers to these questions. Only you know the answer to these questions. You're going to be asked some statements, and you're going to respond to them on a scale from 1 to 5. 1 means this is a big problem for you. To a 5, it's not really a problem at all. And then anywhere in between. A kind of big problem would be a 2. A 3, it works out most of the time. A 4, it's not really a problem, maybe once or twice. 2 of the 5, no problem at all. You're going to be asked to score each item individually. They're in sets of 3, and there's a place for you to total your points for each set of 3. And each of those 3 skills will then correlate to the 11 executive skills that we'll be focusing on this year. Then we want you to record and reflect. So after you score all of your items, you're going to find the 3 highest scores. You're going to write them in the strengths column on the back of your survey. Then you're going to find the 3 lowest scores, and you're going to write them in the weaknesses column. And those will be the 3 that we're really going to focus on for this year to help you build some of those executive skills that you're going to need for the rest of the year in 6th grade and the rest of your life.